Good morning everyone, it's Nifty Noodles here and time for another crafting live on a Tuesday. I think I've got all of that right. Oh, camera's a little bit cockeyed. Either I move the camera or I move my mat. It might be that I just move that a little bit. I cannot get away from the shadow in the corner of there, can I? Hopefully it doesn't impair your viewing too much, ladies. Good morning, Christine. How are you today? Hopefully the weather is a bit better with you than it is here today. We had a bit of a cold start to March after the lovely weekend we hopefully all had. But hey ho. Hello Pat, hello Karen, hello Moira and Miriam. I will try give some shout outs as we go along, although those of you that join regularly will know I cannot craft and look at my screen and read at the same time. So, hello Eileen, hello Christine again. Okay, I'm going to make a start on this morning. I'm going to attempt to recreate a card that I made at the weekend and hope I can remember how I made it. Hello Caroline. Thank you for all joining in so promptly, quickly this morning. Hey Anita. This is the card I'm going to make today, and in the crafting group that I'm a member of, we're having what we're calling a Stash Buster month in March and trying to use up some of our, if you like, old or long forgotten kits and collections and bits and pieces like that. So hello Jill, hello Liz. What I've done today is I've chosen a collection that I bought probably, at least 2 years ago, I think. And I don't know about the rest of you, but when I buy a new collection, a new kit, a new set of dies or something, you tend to use them to death for about a week. And then it goes in the cupboard because something else comes out that you buy and you use that to death, and then it goes in the cupboard or the drawer or the storage or wherever you keep everything. So I have got out my Paper Boutique Lavender Lane collection to use for this card. The quality of the papers in Paper Boutique is amazing. They all have this really nice, like, soft feel to them. They're really good GSM as well, 160 GSM. So I loved these. I know it's a bit early for lavender, but hey, wishful thinking. So I made this card at the weekend and I will try to show you what it looks like. Oh, Caroline, you've got that as well. So I wonder how many cards you've already made with this and how much of your kit you have left. This card is going to, I can't see this live as I'm doing it, it's going to like concertina out, if you like. So it's got like 3 different dimensions to it as this card, and if I turn it up that way you can probably see a little bit better that way. Hello Sue as well. Could probably see better that way, the shape. But the great thing is it folds up flat. Unfortunately it will be too thick to go in with a standard size stamp by the time it's all folded, but I love this and the way it opens. Yeah, sorry. I do like my own work sometimes. Hi Mary. Hope you get a long tea break today. So on this card I've basically used little bits of offcut of the Paper Boutique papers. To be honest, I don't think I cut into a single new sheet of paper to do this. Because of the sizes, you can use offcuts, which is a brilliant way for using up part of your stash, because we all end up with so many offcuts of different sizes. The decoration I put on here, I tried to copy to a degree the shape of the lavender flowers, and by using a mix of Lisa Horton large foliage dies for the green, and then a Craftwork card die that came with either Beauty or Elegance a number of years back. I've put 2 shades of the purple card to try and copy the lavender. Nice big Lisa Horton sentiment on the front of it, and a very effective card. So today I'm going to show you how to make that, and whilst I've already done the Lavender Lane kit, today I'm going to use a Paper Boutique Wild and Wonderful. And this is a kit that I got, liked it, thought it was a bit quirky. We've got koalas, elephants, a giraffe. I'm sure there was another animal somewhere as well in it, maybe not. I made 2 or 3 cards with it and kind of lost enthusiasm. So I got the kit back out and we're going to make one of those cards with it, and I'll show you my thought process in terms of decoration, etc. I've got a template for the card. It will take, unless you've got some large scraps, 2 pieces of A4 to make this card. The first piece of card is going to be 8.5 inches by 5.5. What I'd call the middle section is 11 inches by 3 inches, and the small piece of card for your front element 3 3/4 and 2.5. So, scoreboard at the ready. I have done some preparation for this, but I am doing the scoring and the gluing and the decorating as we go along for you today. Okay, so I have pre-cut my card, and this is my 8.5 by 5 inches piece of card, and I'm going to score that at 2 1/8. Okay, kind of hate these small measurements, but they work. So 2 1/8 and then 4 1/4. Okay, let me think about this. That's going, I'm getting my mountains and my valleys mixed up. So that was a mountain, this one's going to be a valley at 4. I have written it down, I just haven't got my head in gear. Okay, so that's my back piece of my main card. On my 11 long piece of card, I am going to score at 1 7/8. Okay, now let me think about this. Yeah, that can go that way. So 1 7/8. I'm going to turn it over and valet at 3 3/4. Flip it back for a mountain fold at 8 inches. Okay, just get rid of this out of the way. It's always the noisy bit because of where I keep my scoreboard. But there we go. So that's scoreboard away. Hi Yvonne, how are you today? Hello Wendy as well. I will put photograph as well. You will have it on the video, obviously, to see the template that I've used. Okay, so for my main backing card, I am going to fold and score everywhere. Sorry, fold where I have scored. Okay, so that's the main back piece of card, and then on the long strip, again, fold on your score lines and give them a right good burnish. Okay, and you want the tiny flap facing forwards. Okay, this suddenly all comes together because you're going to attach the 2 pieces together at the end of your decorating to give the card. Okay, so it will spring out. And then I've got the front piece of card, which was 2.5 by 3 3/4. Okay, just having a look, see if we've got anybody else joining us today. So Wild and Wonderful, I did have to cut into a full piece of paper for this, but the papers, again, the quality is just superb. We've got those beautiful giraffes on there, we've got koala bears and elephants on the front, more giraffes. That is my favourite piece of paper. I just adore the flowers around there. I don't make really 8x8 cards, but as a frame for something, that is just beautiful. And then we have just elephants. We also have in there some very nice pastel pink flowers, and somewhere along the way, let's have a look, I like those as well. I love the really deep pink on those, and those are the papers that I'm going to use today. The other elements that come with this collection, we have square toppers, and this is what I like about, if you buy a collection kit with Paper Boutique, you get everything that mixes and matches and goes together, and you get square toppers, a few sentiments down the side, and you also get your circular toppers. Okay, and generally what I would do with Paper Boutique is I buy the kit that has the papers and the toppers in, and then they also do a coloured card collection. It's not particularly thick card, it's only 200 GSM, so it's lightweight. It's probably not thick enough for a base of your card without putting it onto gluing it onto another piece of card, but the colours just match for your matting and layering, for flowers, for foliage. That is just wonderful. So those are some bits I'm going to be using, and I have, because it took me quite a while, because each panel is quite small, I would usually mat and layer at 1/4 of an inch smaller for each mat and layer. However, because they're really quite small panels, I did 1/8 of an inch. So ruler out, eyes out, good light, and I have done all of my mats and layers, my papers for the card. I don't always use the same paper, but for this particular card I thought I would use up all the really tiny pieces that I had already cut, and used one sheet of this paper as well. So quite economical, and we're supposed to be stash busting, but I'm still using up what's left in there. Okay, hi Elizabeth. Okay, that is going to go on the front of there, I believe. I have sections that have already been mat and layered. I've used one of the very pale pink pieces of card for the mats. Okay, and because of the way the card folds or opens up, when it opens you can actually see the back of not all but some of the sections. So I have decided to also decorate some of the back sections. Okay, it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle today. On my lavender card I had hello, how are you, but I thought we would go on this one with have a great day. Again, I have used a Lisa Horton double layered sentiment stamp and die set, and on this one I used my stamp platform. I got my inks out and I tested the inks on a piece of white paper and decided to go for a pink. Put it to one side, came back to it, and whether it was the light or whether it was the reaction of the ink with the card, it had gone so pale that I thought, needs to be a bit darker than that, because it was really too pale and vibrant as well for the colour of the papers. So I got, I think it was it Cassis, the VersaFine ink pad. Went back to my stamping platform and I'd already taken the stamp off it, but carefully placed it back on the stamp platform, lined up the stamp on top and over stamped it. And I don't know whether you will be able to see, but I've got a really slight shadow of, I don't know how close I can get that to the camera without it going out of focus, a slight shadow of the brighter, paler pink behind. I actually really like it. I'm really pleased with the effect that I've got on there. So a little bit of shadow stamping by mistake. Okay. Hello Jenny, nice to see you here this morning. So we're having a great day there. I've cut one of the toppers down. Again, I've used Lisa Horton here because the dies are such good quality. It's a nested scallop and a plain circle that I've used for that. Now, once upon a time when I started crafting and I bought kits that had toppers in, I would never ever dream of cutting one down. But of late I've realised that you can fussy cut round them, you can cut them out as I have done with that, because the overall topper was just too big for where I wanted it to go. So I decided, because I wanted the actual sentiment, the wishing you a fabulous day, which yeah goes to a degree with have a great day. So I've cut it down, matte and layered it, and that's going on the back of the card. And then I've got all sorts of little bits of foliage on this. It's Lisa Horton large foliage, again the same foliage that I used on the lavender card, but I've picked out from the card that came in the pack from Paper Boutique, and I've picked out the pink, which deep pink, which hopefully pretty much goes nearly perfectly, obviously, with the flower in my paper. And I've cut out with my tiniest little daisy die from Craftwork Cards lots of little flowers. So I now need to talk away merrily, or talk to you guys, whilst I should have glue all of these panels on now. I think I should have done some of these before, but at least the cutout and the right sizes. I need to get the flowers the right way up, and that should, the borders I've got on here are so slim today, but I like the effect actually. I'm usually quite, as I've said, quite a larger border person, but let's put those that way. Okay. Ooh. I need a bit of background music or a topic of conversation. Okay. I'm still merrily making my Christmas cards. At the end of February, unfortunately, I'm only up to a count of, I think it's 24 Christmas cards, so I need to get working away on those. And I think each time I do a new fold, find a new fold like this, I need to try and make a Christmas card with it as well. But seeing as we're stash busting at the moment, I can get rid of, that sounds awful, doesn't it? I can use up some of my Paper Boutique. Okay, right, that's the base, the card. On here, when the card opens, that back may be visible, so I'm going to also put matte and layer on there. Yeah. Sometimes these papers, the flowers and the foliage run in different directions. Very easy to get them upside down, wrong way round, but I think I've managed to get these all so far the right way. Okay, so that's the basic layer. Just let me have a quick look. Hello Alison, thank you for joining today. Hi Natalia, always late for Christmas cards. I cannot be late for Christmas cards. I like to probably start writing them end of October, beginning of November, partly because I have a lot to write. I write all my husband's for his work, I write the family ones, and I write them for my father-in-law as well, so quite a few cards to go at. Just checking as I go along that I've got them all the right way. I do sometimes have a tendency to, once I've glued, turn the paper around, but I'm making sure, yeah, at a glance, that I'm getting all these the right way on the card today. Okay. Right there for the back, so these go on here. Okay. can't get into Christmas cards till near Christmas. It's one of those things. We're just my daughter and I are very Christmas orientated. We actually we've just got I think it was 6 Christmas DVDs on one of our little daily walks. We try to get out for a walk just locally every day, and a couple of streets away somebody's made a little, would you call it a mini library, like a book, I can't think which, a pop-up library if you like. They've actually made a wooden cabinet that fits between their gate and their hedge. Lovely door on it, all painted, marked up at the front, mini book library or something like that, or please take one and put one back. And it's even got a holder with some hand sanitizer at the side of it, so even in these days with the pandemic, it's reasonably safe to open up and have a look. So there was a set of 6 Christmas DVDs, so we saw them, we came home, we picked out some old DVDs and books of our own, and then the next day on our walk did a swap for, I think we left Doctor Who DVDs from days gone by, and some books as well. So we have a look in every day when we pass, and there are new books in, and and others that have been taken. So what a wonderful idea it is, a really nice neighbourly thing to do. So 2 days ago I said, oh gosh, I'm going to take a card with us when we go on our next walk. I'm going to pop a card in the letterbox to say thank you, and what a wonderful idea. At the end of this I'm going to get the card out and write it, because I've forgotten to do it so far. Okay. So as I was saying, these are the sections that I'm putting on the back now, because some of the back sections will be visible when the card is opened, and if you're viewing from like eye level, or if you're slightly above the card, you can check as you go along which are going to be visible. And I don't know whether it will show on there, but when the card is opened, I now have covered every bit of card that is likely to be seen. So I've used, as I've said, exactly the same paper on all of those. Not something I would usually do. I am very much a mix and match type of person, but I thought I'd just go the whole hog with that one. Okay, and now for my front element. Sorry guys, this is taking a long time. I really should have glued some of these on earlier. Okay. And my have a great day. I just stick that on so it's safe with I've got a new Cosmic Shimmer glue today. God, this stuff just lasts forever. I cannot remember the last time I bought one. So my have a great day, as I said, I used the Lisa Horton, what are they called? I've got a list. I had a list of what I'd used. Double layered sentiments, and it just kind of like, yeah, it makes it pop. It's wonderful. Okay, right. For the decoration, obviously you need to decorate it before you put it all together. So I am going to try very, very quickly to do this. And I have a little bit of a plan, I think, up here. I think it was that way actually. Okay, oops. On these, they are so thin, the stems on here. I just try to sort of swish over little bits and put a little dab of glue at the base of the leaves, which helps just give it some thing to stick to the paper, and yet leaves the ends of the leaves so that if you wanted some dimension, you can still pick the leaves up. But that should be on there nicely. That's going to go in the middle of there. So I'll just pop this down at the bottom. I love this large foliage die. You can cut it down. I'll show you in a minute. I've cut some of it down to fit other places. Now, should I go alternate way? Okay, let's bob that on there, down at the bottom. Okay, just putting this together very quickly now, because I need to be able to show you how to put it all together as well. Try and get that straight. Okay. I've got another large piece that I am going to put on the front section of there. You won't see all of it. The fold out bit will cover some of it, but the top part will most definitely show. So if I place that so that the leaves come right up to the top. Okay. And then I have an uneven number of flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We always work in odd numbers. 1, 2, 3. I can't remember how many I was using now. Let's just go for it. Little bits of glue and then just randomly amongst the foliage. Now you don't obviously need to use these dies. Whatever you have in terms of dies, or whether you draw and cut out your own leaves or flowers, obviously you can use absolutely anything. I just happen to pick these out because I rather like them. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to put another 2 of these in. May have gone for just too many flowers, but hey. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here comes my odd number. Okay. I then need some flowers just on this one. Third one coming up, and then we're almost ready. Put them quite near the top of there so that they'll still be seen. And then on the panel that's going to be attached, on the large section that is forward facing, I am going to just put some really tiny bits of foliage down here, because rather than leave it plain, I just thought it needed a little bit of something. Now these, you can probably see, they are all little bits that I've cut off. Well, I didn't cut them off actually, I was being very frugal and using up every last little piece of the green card that I had. So I used my die and just cut sections that would fit on the paper, or the card. So I've used 2 different colours of the green card like I have with the other foliage. Pop those on there. I've got a little bit of spare glue. That will dry clear. Okay, just need to be careful when I put the whole thing together that the glue isn't showing through and catching in the wrong places. And let's just stick some little flowers in here. And then we're going to just assemble it, and it really isn't that hard. Okay, Hello Christine, don't think I've seen you here before, and Helen, hello Helen. Give it a couple of seconds just to dry off the glue. Okay, we've got 3 sections now. We have our main card element, we have the folded accordion bit, if you like, so it's a bit like an accordion, and the front topper that are all going to come together. Okay, I need to attach this into here. Okay, now the easiest way to do this I found was to line up your folded card on the, open it out, line it up on that side, and when it then folds, everything should line up. Okay, so all your edges there and the bottom edge all line up. Okay, the important thing is you leave all of this out, so you've only got a reasonably small section of that piece of card that's going to be glued in there. Okay, you can probably see it better on there. That is the section of card that you're going to glue. Now, I'm not a tape person. You may find it easier to do this with tape, but I am going to glue it. Okay, so what I will do is put all the card together. Okay, I'm going to flip that out and hold this, and I'm going to pull it out slightly and mark with a pencil a faint line. I know you won't be able to see that, a faint line, and that is the section I can put my glue on to fix it all together. Okay, so here goes. Strong glue or red tape. Okay, so a reasonable amount of my Cosmic Shimmer glue. With that out, I am going to place it so that the edges, the bottom edge lines up and the fold lines up with your base card, and when you press the front down and fold it all together, it's in a perfect place. Okay, and then same sort of idea for this. I'm going to glue it on, so I want my front sentiment section to go centrally on the card, so I'm going to hold that in place. I'm going to slide it away slightly and mark the back so that I know that I am only going to glue a small section. I have probably done loads of these wrong in the past, years gone by, but for me that works. Okay, and I need to slide in along a little bit. That's going perfectly on there. Okay, so that, I don't know which the best way is to hold it for you to see, but that is my Paper Boutique Wild and Wonderful card for today. Okay, to hold it up that way you can see all the different ways that it goes, and need a bit of space to hold it out or to show it, but it's difficult to do it to the camera like that, but holding it like that, it makes a really, really pretty card. You can use, you can stamp, you can stencil, anything on there, but a great way to use up and revisit one of your collections that you've stuck away in a drawer and have totally forgotten about, because to be honest, once I got it and made a couple of cards, wasn't totally enamoured with my Wild and Wonderful, but I absolutely love this card. I think it's I think it's lovely. Sorry, I sound a bit big-headed there, don't I? But yeah, I think it's turned out okay. So thank you all for tuning in. There will later today be a still photograph of the template and the 2 cards that I've done in this style on the Nifty Noodles Facebook page, and the video will be on YouTube as well. So thank you all for joining in with me today, and if you need to have another look, then it will still be out there for you. So thank you all very much. Have a good rest of the day, and I am so looking forward to seeing what you all make. Okay, see you next week. Bye for now.